So recently, a DICE employee just shook the internet by posting something that nobody expected. They posted this right here on Twitter. They said, "The Mandalorian Way of the Warrior back at it again, making mock-ups for games that don't exist. Here's some UX, UI art, and design practice I've been doing in recent days." And again, this comes from Gav, who is a UI technical designer at EA DICE. So it's not just some random fan out there on Twitter making this. This is actually an official developer at DICE creating an entire mock-up of what a Mandalorian game would look like. And let me zoom in here on this first mock-up scene right here, which looks absolutely mind-blowing. And again, they claim it's just UI, but we're seeing clearly that there are graphical assets well beyond UI here, including the character. We're seeing a planet called Zeronia, or maybe a city called Zeronia here, and it just looks absolutely spectacular. There's no way around it, and there's no way around me making a video on this. I had to talk about this and make a video about this because, again, it looks absolutely stunning, and obviously we all are dying for a Mandalorian type of game. And how cool would it be to see a game like this? And if we take a look at the next shot right here, we see that it goes again far beyond just UI design here. We have a whole mock-up of the character here, of the different customization options with the helmet, with the colors, all of these different choices that Gav has mocked up here. And I'm guessing that maybe Gav had a little bit more help with these mock-ups than they're letting on, because this is absolutely spectacular. And again, hats off to them for creating this. And, you know, we've got all the details here. You can see up at the top left the different pieces of armor you'd be able to customize. You can see how cool the character looks right there front and center. You can see full graphical assets like this character here, the backdrop, all of that stuff. And then we also see that Gav created the main menu area as well, and said the following about it. They said, "The title screen in animated form, okay, it's not super spicy, but hey, imagine you click play and those stars go into light speed and warp you directly to where you left off last time you played." And I have to say, that would be freaking incredible. And then of course we have this concept right here, which I believe is showing a photo type mode right here in what looks like kind of like an indoor type of setting. And again, my goodness, the player model there looks absolutely stunning. And you know, The Mandalorian is obviously one of the most popular franchises by Disney right now, and I think a game like this would be a massive hit. There's no doubt about that. We all want it. We all want to see it. What would it be exactly? Would it be an open world game? Would it be more linear? Would it be a co-op game? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I would definitely want to see it have both single player and co-op elements in it, where you can play the entire story either single player or with up to 3 other friends, where they can be Mandalorians, and then they can go in and create their own custom characters. They can have their own custom ships, and so on and so forth. And of course, I think it'd be cool to have it be open world as well, where you can explore the planet freely with your friends or by yourself if you wanted to, and then you could jump to other planets in the process. I think this would be just amazing to see. Will it happen? I have no idea. But I do know one thing when it comes to EA DICE, even though they've had a rough, patch with Star Wars Battlefront 2's launch and stuff like that, I do know that that Frostbite engine is quite incredible, as it can achieve 60 frames per second on console. It still looks good to this day. So this screenshot right here in particular, I think they could easily pull off on the Xbox Series X and on the PlayStation 5. I have no doubt that DICE could indeed pull that off. And I also got to read off the top comments that were posted on Twitter about this. So this is what Ghost Gaming had to say about it. They said, "Man, I am beyond sad that this isn't actually in development. Excellent work." And totally agree. Like, my heart kind of sunk when I realized that this was not actually in development. Because, you know, Gav, you know, of course said that this is, you know, a mock-up for a game that does not exist. So that's what they said in their post. So that's sad to hear that. I'm hoping, again, that it is a tease and that we do get an actual Mandalorian game for this, because, again, that's just torture to know that this is not an actual game right now. Or is it? And they're just teasing us. We don't know yet. Now, Kelly said, I would buy a console for this game if it was exclusive. And yes, I think everyone would agree with that statement. Now, that doesn't mean that we want it to be exclusive. I'm sure that all of us as fans definitely do not want this to be exclusive to one console. Of course, I think this should definitely be on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, of course, where all of the fans, regardless of console, can enjoy such a game. But if they did decide to do it, you know, exclusive to a console, it would definitely sell consoles, hands down. So that's obvious. Now, Kai said, okay, finish the game. And yes, I think that's everyone's reaction now. They see this. People are being tortured now, knowing that this awesome concept is out there on the internet that was posted by a developer. Now, finally, Ryan GoFet24 said, just realized you're a DICE developer. What you all got cooking up in that lab? And yes, I you know, when Gav first posted this, by the way, if you look at the post by Gav, you look at it and you don't realize that Gav is actually a developer at EA DICE until you click in their profile and take a look at their profile that says UI Technical Designer at EA DICE. So I think a lot of people, when they first saw this concept art, including myself, thought it was just a random fan concept art. And while it's awesome, of course, as a random fan concept art, it's even more amazing to know that it was actually created by an actual developer. So again, it all comes down to the question of why did Gav post this? And I think it's because they wanted to kind of gauge the interest in such a game and see the community's reaction and see if something would be greenlit, you know, if a project like this could be greenlit. And I think obviously by the community's reaction, we all know the answer, that a project like this should definitely be greenlit by Lucasfilm Games, hands down. And whether it would be EA DICE making it or another studio, you know, I fully support a game like this. So that would be incredible to see. And again, I am not an EA game changer at all anymore in any way. So I do not have a motive to make this video for EA or DICE. You know, I'm just telling you my honest opinion on what I think about it and my genuine excitement for the potential of such a gaming project. I mean, it'd be absolutely massive to have a Mandalorian game like this, and I would love to see it where you can play it with your friends or single player, as I mentioned before. I think co-op would definitely be a must for such a game because, as we all know, there has been a big emphasis on single-player games with the Jedi Survivor series, and then, of course, the upcoming Star Wars Outlaw series, which are really putting the emphasis on single-player gaming. But I think it's time now that we see a single-player / co-op game in the near future. So, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you all think. I will see you all next time, and may the Force be with you always.